Welcome to the Friendly Nonsense Beatdown. This is a podcast all about friendly fire and gibberish, where three brothers compete in a quest to be the supremeliest nonsenser. Here are your hosts, Kevin, Corey, and Casey Walker.
Welcome into the Friendly Nonsense Beatdown. This is Season 2, Day 2. And we are so excited to be here again, all three of us in the same room, recording for you this segment of Serendipity, your random questions that need a happy ending. Now, what we do in Serendipity is we ask the questions that nobody will, that you will hear nowhere else in the world. These questions are so important to life, though. Like, last week in Season 1, the end of Season 1, we talked about leprechauns and what would happen if they asked you to guard their $10 million pot of gold. Exactly. Who else are going to ask these questions?
Nobody's going to ask these questions.
Aren't being asked. We need to ask these questions, and that's why we are.
Exactly.
So,
bring a happy ending.
Yes, exactly. To this leprechaun.
Yes.
So, starting off today with our first question. Here we go. I like this question. We're going to start with you, Casey.
Okay.
You've accidentally been transported. Don't ask me how. You've accidentally been transported back to the distant past and have run into a Sabertooth tiger. A man runs up to you with a sack full of weapons, and they're from that time or around that time. And you have to choose one to defend yourself from the beast. What's it gonna be, dude? What weapon?
I'm assuming that this does not include any metal weapons. Like, this is distant past. We're dealing with Sabertooth tigers.
You can use like copper weapons or Bronze Age weapons. That type of thing.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm definitely going for a spear.
Okay.
Okay, because spear is the number one thing you don't want the Sabertooth tiger to do is get close to you and bite you with those giant teeth of his. So a spear will keep him at bay, and that is what I want to do with the spear.
The problem is, so here's what I thought, because I thought about a spear too. The problem with the spear is that spears, typically if they're going to be any heftiness, are heavy, and they are hard to maneuver. If you've got a big old spear that's 10 foot long, that thing is going to be, like the Sabertooth tiger, you're trying to point at the Sabertooth tiger.
I'm not talking a 10-foot spear. This is more like a 6-foot spear, something like that.
A 6-foot spear. So the only problem is, as soon as that Sabertooth tiger gets in close, like just maneuvering a spear, you've only got one pointy end. That's
then I do the only logical thing, and that's break the spear over my leg, okay? And then I take the piece that I broke off and I stick it in its mouth and keep it open because it's got the huge mouth, you know? Right.
And then you're safe.
And then I'm safe. And then
you
can't bite.
Then he goes, How about you, Corby?
Okay. So, you stipulated that it had to be from that time. I was going to do like one of those little cork poppers. Just shoot his teeth.
What? What on earth? A cork popper? What on earth is a cork popper?
He might be onto something if he gets the corks to stick on his teeth.
Yeah, there you go.
He can't hurt me, right?
Yeah. No, he's definitely going to punch right through you.
It's like corking knives, you know? It's like cork the Sabertooth.
So I was thinking about this, and I was going, okay, well, if I'm just suddenly transported, I'm not going to know how to use a lot of these weapons effectively. So you have a good point, Kev. So I'm going to do a net. Because if I can get a net, tie it onto some trees, I can jump on the other side.
And then he claws his
and
way
then he
right
walks around the net.
And then I just walk to the other side and we just do this little dance around the net.
He's way faster than you. Sorry, buddy. He's got 4 legs, you got 2.
Exactly. That's 2 more legs to worry about.
See, here's my thought. I'm not going to worry about anything, but just, like, you're exactly right, and that's the point I was making to you, Casey. I don't have any knowledge of any old age weapons. So I'm going to grab a weapon that I do have knowledge of, which is a giant club. I'm going to grab a club and whoop that thing on the head. Like, your weapon that you've got, it will not break. I'll get a copper club and just like ting on that thing.
Copper
club? I didn't want a sword. Yeah. A copper bronze club.
Copper club.
Yes.
It's a copper club? Okay. So a spear that has that amount of metal is not as heavy as a club that's just it's pure bronze.
Imagine swinging a 3 foot dumbbell. It's like,
It gives my arms a workout, and I can look good while doing it.
I mean, if you did land it, if you
It
did
would
land
kill
your
that
hit,
thing.
man.
It would be dead. So that's all I gotta do. I was thinking though to like a ball and mace, like a ball.
That would be better.
yeah, but that wouldn't be from ancient.
It wouldn't be. That's why. I
See,
didn't
one other thing for a net, you just throw it over the guy that brought the weapons, and then you run off. And then there you go. So
The poor guy who brought the weapons. You just feed him to the Cassie Angel. Like you don't have to outrun the bear. Just outrun the guy. Trying to outrun the bear.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's painful. All right. So moving on. Here we go. You have the opportunity to spend the day with your favorite fictional character. Who's it going to be and why? I'm going to start with this one. So, have you guys seen 24?
no.
I have not seen 24, but I know it's got Jack Bauer. No, it's not
Jack Bauer.
Yeah, it is Jack Bauer. Okay.
I mean, I've been watching it, and we've been binging it. We had a date tonight, and we grabbed the Habit Burger, not a sponsor. We grabbed, we played Suburbia, also not a sponsor. And we sat down, and we binged 24, which is not a sponsor as well. I'm gonna
Popular
stop saying
Science,
that.
also not a sponsor.
Alright, I'm gonna stop the stipulations here. Yeah, we sat down and we watched this thing. That guy goes through 1.5 million nightmares an hour. The simple gist of the plot is his wife and daughter have been kidnapped. People are trying to kill him. People are trying to kill the wife and daughter because he was a secret agent who had a something that killed the other guy's daughter and stuff in this other town. Yada yada yada. Coming full culmination. This guy needs emotional help, and I just want to be there for him. He's been through so much. I'll just sit down with him and be like, I know what
It's okay,
happens
Jack.
later on. It's okay, buddy. It's okay, Jack.
I've got to go.
Prep yourself.
Yeah, it's okay, buddy. He just needs emotional support. So, see, I'm not thinking about myself necessarily. I'm thinking about my fictional character that needs help from me. And I can feel loved and wanted. All right, Corby.
Very nice. Very nice.
Well done, sir. Well
Thank
done.
you. Thank you. Your fictional character.
For me, I would do Legolas.
Legolas.
There you go.
Yes, because then
You
he
seem
could
like an
teach me-
elfish.
He could teach me his ways of shooting an arrow and his fancy knife work. Two little knives.
In one day. One day.
And then he gets his bow.
That's
I love your motion.
He just looks
T-Rex
so
bow.
graceful. So graceful the whole time.
That's what the bow does. Yeah, that's good bowmanship there. Legolas will definitely be teaching you something at least.
Any other reason or just the bow and knife?
No, bow and knife.
Oh, okay.
He just wants to go out and kill some orcs.
Yeah.
that
Oh,
don't
no,
exist.
I just want to shoot a bow and wave some knives around.
Hey, honey, come here. Look, I can wave my knives around. Around, cut, go to the rescue. Cut the
Just
watermelon.
stand back.
You know, I learned this when I was with Legolas one day. Did you hear that I was with Legolas one day? Man, Legolas was a cool guy.
Look at the knife skills he taught me.
This is called the Legolas Special.
At first when you were saying I spent the day with Legolas, I'm like, wait, is this an actual story?
You have the opportunity to spend your day with your favorite fictional character.
Here's no offense, but here's the stupid meter. Here's Corey.
Excuse me.
Well, Kevin, to our lovely viewers, you just said that his stupid meter was all the. Oh, wait,
that's
that all
true.
makes. Yeah, no, that makes sense. You're all the way. Never mind. My stupid meter is like.
You have them both over there.
Kevin's the only one who's on the positive.
Alright, Case, what's your fictional character?
Okay, my first thought was the Count of Monte Cristo from the Count of Monte Cristo, but he's not a very pleasant dude. I don't want to spend a day with him. Then I had two other choices. I had Sam Gamgee and my ultimate choice, which is Uncle Iroh from Avatar: Last Airbender.
No, Uncle Iroh.
Uncle Iroh is a great character, and anyone who's seen The Last Airbender will
Not
attest
responsive.
that he is a great dude. I mean, and he makes great tea, and he plays Pai Sho. So
He plays pie for show.
yeah, exactly, which is like chess or something like that. So he's a great guy, a good source of wisdom, and he's pretty talented firebender as well.
That I know exactly what that means.
Yep. See, I've lost them, but I'm sure there have been some people out
Are
there
you a
that have
talented
seen it.
firebender, Corey?
Oh yes, I've been finder.
I've been
finder all the time.
Benders on the time here. Hey, Benders. All right, here we go. Moving on to the next question. Would you rather be a school bus driver or would you rather be a dump truck driver, Mr. Corey Walker?
Well, I would definitely, hands down, I would rather be a school bus driver.
And why is that?
Well, because you get to see all these kids every day. So
wait. Be a school bus driver? I thought you were saying dump truck driver. I was totally expecting dump truck driver, not school bus driver. All right, so
there are school bus drivers in the world that actually do drive school bus drivers because they enjoy it.
that drive school bus drivers.
That drive school bus drivers because they enjoy it.
They drive other school bus drivers. I can do that. I could drive the adult
To the school bus
drivers.
driving convention that is yearly held in Milwaukee.
I will be the school bus driver that all the kids come in and be like, "Good morning, Mr. Walker. Here's an apple. Good morning, Mr. Walker. Here's a piece of candy. Good morning, Mr. Walker. Here's your own thing of sweet tarts."
This is from your kids on your school bus?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
One sweet
fantastic.
tart from each of them.
Well, and
Wow.
think
Been
of all
collecting
the...
for 10 years.
And even,
Wow,
when,
okay.
even when the kids are misbehaving, because we know that they do misbehave sometimes, you do have stories to tell. So there's that.
This
as
is
well.
true.
So-
This is
What about you?
Kevin.
Me?
Kevin, clearly. I think you know his answer already.
well. I will not say what I was going to say, but I absolutely would not be a school bus driver. I would be a dump truck driver. I would rather deal with trash than 24 screaming kids on a bus, and especially for a field trip. I cannot imagine a field trip. It would be crazy. I have to be a dump truck driver.
I
Why not?
would remind you that a dump truck is not a garbage truck. A dump truck is a piece of construction equipment.
Ah, tis true.
Oh,
Tis true.
yes.
So I would be a dump truck driver because I want to be on the construction site carrying that dirt around.
That's true. Corey got my gist.
I got your
obviously-
gist, but I was going. I knew what
my
you were
stupid
meaning.
meter just went like this. I can be self-deprecating too. I deprecate you guys as much as I'll deprecate myself. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so I want to work in unison on this question. Okay,
Alright.
so we'll all work together. What on earth are you doing?
Thinking.
Let's go.
Getting
Keep
my
thinking.
thinking cap ready, but I don't have a thinking cap. So I'm stroking my imaginary
Your
beard.
thinking beard?
See, I can actually stroke a beard.
Yes, Casey actually has the beard to stroke. Alright, so here we go. You've all three been dropped on a tropical island, and each of the brothers has to perform one of the following tasks. One needs to build a shelter, one needs to find water, and one needs to build a fire. Who's doing what? Now, I know for a fact that you, Casey, taught a class on how to build a fire.
Well, from Uncle Iroh himself, the firebender. On my day with Uncle Iroh, he taught me how to firebend. No, actually, for reals, I did do some research one time because I was teaching a class to a bunch of kids at a summer camp, and I do know a little bit how to start a fire.
Okay.
So, if you're on a desert island, the
Yes.
best thing you need to do, the first thing you need to do is find some fire starter, which is real thin pieces of flammable material. Probably your best bet would be the fibers on like the hull of a coconut, if you got that.
Okay.
You grab a bunch of those, make a little thing, and then first, of course, you're going to have to do a little bit of friction heating, get that all sparked up, And then you're going to have a teepee on top with small diameter sticks, and then you just build up bigger diameter as you go up.
Is it okay? So
There you
with
go.
the small diameter
Fire
sticks, is it? What's the purpose of it? Just to provide an easier way to start. a
Yeah,
fire?
because it's not like the little coconut fibers are not going to burn hot enough to catch the big diameter stuff on fire. So you have to like start small and then get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then all of a sudden you're burning logs.
All right.
And
So
that's where you wanna
obviously
be.
you know what you're talking about. So you're the fire starter, Corey. I'll let you choose next. What are you gonna do?
Well, in thinking this through, you and I both have some experience building things, Kev.
Yes.
So I think I would probably be best with the water.
Okay.
Only because Casey and I, with our schooling, we're taught all about water purification. So I'm going to take some of the activated coconut charcoal that Casey burns, and then I will put together a treatment system for this water out on this tropical island.
That is great. And I've been left with building a shelter, which we will hopefully have in a couple years. I'll be working on it. You guys do your stuff. I'll find some palm leaves, and we'll die.
Well, the thing as a developer, you can consult your civil engineer.
This is true.
You
There we go.
can consult civil engineer.
Hey
so-
guys, what would you do in this situation? Would you put the palm leaf here or here? Well, we've built out the plan. Perfect. Guys, why don't you go ahead and
Sorry,
do
we
it?
don't work
See-
with palm leaves. We work with concrete and steel.
I'm
You're
the-
on your own.
I'm the tropical building manager. You guys are the general labor that I hired
There
to
you
build
go.
the shelter for me.
So, I mean, the one thing going in our favor is if it's a tropical island, it's probably not going to be super, super cold at night. So it's probably decent weather throughout the day, throughout the night. So we're not going to need something like airtight that's just going to be super warm. It's more just keeping out the
This is
rain.
very accurate. But this is something crazy that I found out. So Hawaii, on the island of Kauai, the most rain, I want to look this up and tell you the truth. Most rain ever in 1 year.
That was
Oh yeah, I
poisonous.
remember they got like dumped on with rain.
They had
Oh my goodness, sakes alive.
they had let's see. They averaged more than 373 inches of rain a year, with a record of
Man.
683 inches in 1982.
683
So
inches.
that-
That's like
That is 2 inches
60
in
feet.
a day.
Yeah. 2 inches of rain every
Almost.
day.
683,
Holy
yeah.
cow.
And so what happened? So I was looking this up, and so a inch of rain is a heavy pour for like 4 hours. Is 1 inch
yeah,
of rain.
yeah.
So 8 hours every single day is 2 inches. They are averaging every single day that 2 inches. So that means it rains every single day
Constantly.
for 8 hours. So
Oh.
yeah, heavy pour. So you can imagine
Yeah.
the floods that they have in there. So if we're on a tropical island like Hawaii, I'm definitely going to have to
Yeah.
build a hefty,
Oh,
hefty
yeah.
shelter.
We'll just go to the base of the mountains instead
Yeah,
of being
yes.
up in the mountains.
But in a cave.
There you go.
Hey guys, I found a cave with a
Hey.
bear in it.
Well, at least the advantage is my job is pretty easy then finding the water.
This
That
is
is
true.
fun.
This is accurate.
Constantly.
That's true. You don't have to do anything. So
Yeah.
it's a blessing and a curse if you're up in that area.
You just walk outside. You're like, I need a drink. Oh.
See, Corey picked the easiest one because fire building's gonna be really hard if everything's
Yeah,
completely
you need
soaked.
me to do my job so you can do your job.
Exactly.
So there we go. There is Serendipity, your random questions that need a happy ending. Send us your questions to friendlynonsensebeatdown@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to chat with you as well. Leave your comments on the YouTube channel or on the podcasts. Leave us a review if you wouldn't mind. And subscribe. All those things at once. And we'll see you next time. Take care.